Hello and welcome everyone, I'm CSGilmore, and this is Templar Battleforce. Looks like Rykart Prime Desert Command Center is our next mission. Oh, it's a secure zone. I just realized that. I wasn't even paying attention to that. I was thinking this could be a battle mission, but it looks like it may not be. It may just be briefing on what's going on here. So, well, let's take a look and see what comes up. This is quite a nice looking place. The Rykart Desert Command Center is tense with anticipation. The last week since the ambush has seen great turmoil across Rykart Prime. It might have been an isolated incident, but it quickly became apparent that the organization we are facing, the cult of Shelgaroth, has extensive military strength. They struck in 6 cities across Rykart Prime within a day. They unveiled command of large trained forces with heavy mortars and anti-aircraft support behind them. This is no isolated cult uprising. This is an army, funded and raised by some nefarious force. And now they are vying for power to steal the freedom from our people. Try as they might, they have already begun to falter. With the combined might of the Rykart military and the Templars, they have lost all but one city. The final strike is being prepared at this Desert Command Center. The siege of Drayan is about to begin. Just realized my battery was dying. That would have been problematic. Commander Hawk of the Rykart forces will help position my squad to be as effective as possible. Alright. Looks like I've got new people to talk to. And quite a nice little setup here. Let's go look around a little bit. Okay. Lots of supplies, ammo, napalm. Was this what was promised to our people when they started the Great Exodus? Join the army, they said. See the quadrant, they said. I'd rather be in the Navy. Freedom is important to us, but to all of the factions, we fought our way out of the galactic core to be free. Now this cult is threatening that. That is why the military will fight to the end. Okay. Ooh, this looks like a interesting little bunker hatch. It's like, yeah, very interesting. Or if these are like bomb shells, like not bomb shells, but yeah, bomb shelters. I don't know what these are supposed to, what these glowing cubes over here are supposed to be. Anyway, I guess we'll go in here and talk to some more people. We're lucky to have you Templars here on Rykart Prime. These rebels have nothing like you. Okay. That's a little interesting wording. It's hard to imagine there is a normal human inside that Leviathan mech. You're piloting a walking tank. What power? With great power comes great probability of getting yourself killed. Alright, now, let's see what she has to say. What have we learned about the Shelgaroth? What have we learned about the Shelgaroth? They are a well-funded organization with great discipline. They have kept their movements, training, and stockpiling of weaponry a secret. They are a Xeno cult, that much we know. They have powerful support and patrons somewhere here. We have to find their leadership and crush them. What is a Xeno cult? Humanity has always had an obsession with the other. Some cannot resist the draw of the Xeno artifact, the secrets, the power they think they might learn. It is like a whisper in their ear. Such cults form around the edge of the Xeno as gods, around the idea of the Xeno as gods who will descend upon humanity and grant power, might, and dominion to their worshippers. Usually the start of such a cult is around a set of Xeno artifacts. The members ingest parts of the xenobiology as a hallucinogen. As they grow in power, these cults turn to the black market and smugglers to gain more artifacts and pieces of xenobiology. With the strength of their secretive supporters, it is clear this cult has had wide-scale access to the Terox remains in this quadrant. Does the cult extend beyond Rykart Prime? There have been no other attacks on other worlds by the military organization, but they are clearly well organized with both an intelligence and fighting force. They may have decided to try their hand on Rykart Prime and are holding back their other reserves. Who will join us in the fighting in Draen? You will join us in the fighting in Draen. Major Luther attached me to your squad, and I will stay throughout all of the fighting. Having a paladin with your Templars will be especially helpful in this type of combat. The Shelgaroth troops have flamers, plasma rifles, and rocket launchers. With that arsenal and range, it is impossible to avoid damage to our Leviathans. What role will we be playing in the Draen siege? I am sure that Commander Hawk has very specific plans for us. There are many places on Rykart Prime where we could be of use. However, when the siege of Draen comes, you and I have a special mission, Captain. We must reach the center of Draen and strike down the cult leadership. If we cannot destroy the kernel of leadership, then the cult will only go to ground for a time, and then it will rise again. Basically, God cut off the serpent's head. Okay, let's see what you have to say. Alright, looks like there's a good number of choices here. What assignments do you have for my Battleforce, Commander Hawk? The full might of the Rykart military is waiting on Draen's doorstep. The other small conflicts with Shelgaroth's forces have ended. We've crushed them at every turn. The final holdout is the skittering hive in the city of Khaldun. Oh, great, they have a... excuse me. Some idiot planted a Xeno hive. What will happen here at Draen? They have had time to dig in here. This could be a nastier fight. The cult is surprisingly organized and armed. I think cult is too generous of a word, Templar. This is a military organization. This is an army. We have a specific task for you and your Templars if you are up to it. Death before dishonor, Commander. I knew you'd volunteer. The Draen defenses are being coordinated from a Shelgaroth's command center on the eastern edge of the city. They have a sophisticated tactics net there, anti-aircraft weaponry protecting the city core, and a deep ring of artillery and mortars. The fighting will be protracted and will decimate the city if we can't take out the tactics net. The old head of the snake trick. Hey, I just said that. I'm sure you've seen it before. 1,000 times, my friend. Your squad will go in by low-flying dropship and hit the command center. Once you've knocked their net offline, Shelgaroth will fall into disarray. Without the tactics net, their artillery will be unable to coordinate and stop us. What will happen to the populace of Draen? Much of the populace has gone underground or is hiding in their homes. The Shelgaroth organization has captured the city's main power grid and utilities. They are keeping the city running. Evidently, their leadership has set up in the city's palace. The longer the fighting drags out, the more casualties we will take. What more can you tell us? The fighting will be thick in Draen. With the tactics net knocked out of commission, they will lose their ability to coordinate the strategic battlefield. Local leaders on the ground will be able to keep their units together, but we'll be able to pull them apart, flank them, and outgun them. They're well equipped, but they don't have the backbone of an army. We just have to snip at that one little cord, and they will go dark. So that's going to be one mission, it looks like. Hit the tactics net. What can you tell me about... What more can you tell us about the skittering hive in Khaldun? We have found many signs of the Shelgaroth cult studying Xeno and stockpiling Xeno artifacts. However, this is the only site where we have seen proof that they have live Xeno in their control. Xeno cannot be controlled, Commander Hawk. They are insatiable killing machines. Well, at least in captivity. Have you flushed out the hive? Our reconnaissance shows that there are more Xeno there than we can deal with at the moment. Our forces are focused on containing Draen. We could deploy there and take care of the mess. Your and my squad will head to the palace? Naturally, this is where the so-called cult has positioned their leadership. I warn you, they are a professional organization with immense backing. Their leadership is likely to escape if the fighting turns. How do we know the Shelgaroth organization is a Xeno cult? We have captured a number of their soldiers as well as a few of their command centers. We found clear evidence of Xeno artifacts. We have also found a lot of concerning stashes of research equipment. They seem to be trying to study the Xeno. This is to be expected, Commander Hawk. It is the way of a Xeno cult. I think the worst sign was in the city of Khaldun. When the fightings first started, the Shelgaroth operatives there released 3 skitterings into the city's central exchange. There were over 200 civilian casualties before our forces could react and bring them down. Even a skittering is a tough challenge for the human military. It takes many shots before their hex shell rifles cut through the Xeno's outer carapace. We have backed the Shelgaroth forces into a corner in Khaldun, but raiding the skittering nest is beyond what our forces can do. Where did the Shelgaroth get this military hardware? At least half of the military supplies seem to have come from the colony hives. They are using older technology against us. They've managed to buy up this aging technology on black markets and from different militaries as it is replaced by the new munitions coming out of modern factories. It is what makes their tactics net so vulnerable. It is old, and they only have 3 command consoles. The rest of the equipment seems to have been built in the new colonies. Much of it is unmarked, created in secret factories somewhere. More signs of the wealth and power of their patrons. The rest has been stolen or bought from the Mechlomnia. Of course, they deny it, but a third of the hardware is Mechlomnia manufactured. Be careful, Commander Hawk, to make accusations only when you have proof. If there is hard proof, please bring it to our attention, as we will stand by it and support your case. But let us point fingers only when proof has been secured. What have you learned from the captured enemy? We've gained very valuable local intelligence, troop counts, and an understanding of how their military units are organized. There is a shadow organization that is above the military arm we are fighting, and they are cunning enough to make sure that the military arm knows basically nothing about them. Hopefully the humans we capture at the Drayan Palace will know more. Oh. Okay, so we've got a Xeno hive in Khaldun and the Shelgaroth tactics net here in Drayan. This is a tough choice. What to hit first? If I hit the tactics net, it will mess up the enemy force's ability to sustain themselves, like to coordinate and everything, but I'll have to hit their leadership next in order to make sure they don't escape, assuming that's not already part of that mission. But if I do that, I leave the Xeno hive in Khaldun to fester and possibly become worse. This is a tough choice. I think my best bet is to hit the tactics net first, take out their leadership, then deal with the hive. Like, it sounds like the military forces have it contained for the time being, and if I take out the tactics net, they'll be able to put more of their forces towards containment and keep it under control until I can come in and wipe it out for good. If I just take it out, then that gives the enemy leadership more time to work on other means of escape and or attack. So my next mission, I'm going to go for deploying the to hit the Shelgaroth tactics net. So yeah, let's do that. Let's deploy on the dropship to hit the Shelgaroth tactics net. The dropship will come in low and hot. You'll be dropped near the tactics network command consoles and need to disable each one. I do warn you, you'll be right in the center of that nest of vipers. Right where we like to be, Commander. Alright, so here we are, trench warfare. This should be interesting. Definitely some different stuff. It looks like if I go in the other one, it'll be a mix of them and of the human forces plus some alien forces, but for the time being, let's stick with the humans and dealing with their leadership. Alright. Hopefully that recorded right, because that's one. Because the problem with those info missions is there is no reset, like retry button, so I can't redo it if this messed up. But on the bright side, even if it did mess up, it's all written for the most part of the important stuff, just you won't get my commentary. So, but I think I have this all hooked up right, so it should work. Anyway, I'm going to end this episode here, and next one looks like we're going to be heading into some actual combat. So thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!